and I was really glad that I knew beforehand about allergies and special needs. So I could prepare myself and maybe already research a few alternatives. Hey, it's me again, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you about the first Skype call with the potential host family, because I remember being very nervous before my Skype interviews. And what always helped me was to prepare a piece of paper with a few notes about the family, but also a few questions that I could ask them. And I thought I'd share some of those questions with you today. The first question, and maybe also one of the most important ones that you could ask your potential host family, is what would a normal working day look like for your au pair? I think this is a great question because it answers a lot of smaller questions at once. For example, when you would have to start work, when you would be off work, and what kind of tasks you would have to do. And yeah, so you will get a lot of information out of this question, as well as an insight of what your daily life could look like with this potential host family. The second question you could ask is, what kind of hobbies or interests do the kids have? Because trust me, every parent loves to talk about their children, and also you could maybe talk to the kids themselves as well, to see if you connect well and if you get along. And also you can find out whether you have some shared interests, because that way you can already figure out whether you can do a lot of stuff together. For example, one of my host children loved to bake, and I do as well, and the other host kid loved to do arts and crafts and get creative. So for me that was great, because I love to do both those things, and yeah, that made it very easy for me to plan our free time and to come up with ideas and recipes. The third, but probably also one of the most important questions you could ask a potential host family is, what do you expect from your au pair? Because with this question you can find out what kind of relationship they imagine to have with their au pair. For example, whether they only want to spend time with the au pair during the week and during working hours, or whether they also want to do things together on the weekend or even go on vacation together. And depending on your own expectations, you can figure out whether you're compatible or whether you want different things. The fourth question is, are there a lot of au pairs in the area? And in my opinion, au pair friends are great because they experience the same thing as you, and you can talk to them about your homesickness, about problems, about practically everything, because they go through the same thing. And you can also do stuff together. For example, grab a coffee or go out for dinner or go on trips and just travel around your host country. So I always ask this question to potential host families, and I'm very happy that I found a lot of new friends there that I'm still in contact with. So yeah, I can just recommend you asking this question as well. Another question you can ask is how a host family spends their weekends, because this way you can find out about their interests and also whether they are away a lot, which would mean that you might be on your own a lot of the time, or maybe they also want you to come along with them on the weekends, or maybe they want you to be present at dinner time on the weekend. So yeah, this will also give you an insight how your weekends could look like. And again, you can compare their expectations to yours and see whether you match or not. For me personally, it was always very important to talk to the current au pair, and sometimes a host family already offered me that beforehand, but if not, then I always asked whether I could speak with their current au pair, because the current au pair can give you a little bit of insight into the daily life and tell you a bit about the kids and the family in general, but also about the location and how easy it is to get around and how easy it is to find friends. So yeah, I think this is always very helpful, but you just have to keep in mind that the au pair still lives with the family and might not be as objective. But still, I think you will get a lot of great information out of this conversation. So yeah, I always recommend you asking this question. Another interesting question can be what the living situation would look like. A host family is required to provide a separate room for the au pair, but in regards to a bathroom, for example, it is possible that you will have your own bathroom, but it is also possible that you would have to share with the host family or at least the kids. And by asking this question, you can find out what to expect. The next question is particularly interesting if you have to cook for your host family. And this question is, do you have any special eating habits? And this can concern eating times as well as allergies or special diets. I had to cook for my host family every day, and I was really glad that I knew beforehand about allergies and special needs. So I could prepare myself and maybe already research a few alternatives. And yeah, so if you also have to cook a lot, then this question might be interesting to ask. Another question you might want an answer to beforehand is whether the host family requires additional babysitting. And I know that a lot of the times you can already read that in their profiles, but it usually only says that they do require additional babysitting, and sometimes it says like once or twice a week, but it doesn't really say how many additional hours that will be. And I personally like to be prepared, and I like to know how many hours I have to expect to work more. So yeah, I always like to ask this question because yeah, that way I can plan my free time better, and yeah, that's why I always like to ask this question. The last question that I will share with you today kind of goes hand in hand with the one before, and that is, how does the host family deal with additional hours? Will they pay you extra, or will they give you time off on another day? And I think especially because these things concern money, it is just easier to clear them up in advance, because that will spare you a lot of arguments or misunderstandings, and yeah, you just know what to expect, and this is the easiest way for both you and the host family. And that concludes 10 questions that you could ask your potential host family. I wish you the best of luck during your matching phase, and I'm sure that you will find the perfect family for you. I hope this video was helpful, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye!